What is happening, YouTube? This is Kid Gemini, live and in the flesh. Wow, it's been 9 months since my absence, and I would really like to take the time to reflect on the moment I started this channel at the very beginning of 2017 in January to right now, where I'm going to talk about the significance of letting go and reflecting and what to expect from me at this time of the year where 2017 is coming to an end. So, enjoy! First of all, I really appreciate the people who watched me play Operation Desert Storm, a very private ToonTown server that started at the very beginning of January this year, as I felt I've grown personally from brushing up on my editing skills and rendering skills and being able to be a part of the nostalgic community where people have played ToonTown since 2003. And granted, the game has died out in 2013 because Disney didn't want to do a lot with ToonTown by having more updates and dealing with hackers and all those issues. And so ToonTown Rewritten was created for the sake of bringing back that childhood, which I really loved because I played the game since 5 years, and then I played again on and off for another 4 years. Unfortunately, I've dropped the game at the end of March, meaning I stopped playing at the end of March after completing Chapter 3 of Operation Desert Storm because I held too many high expectations based on completing the game by the end of this year. Those reasons include, one, my computer not having enough space for editing the videos, rendering them, and being able to upload them. Two, being the fact that I just lost interest in ToonTown. I mean, yeah, it's a fun game. Yes, it brings back a lot of good memories when you fight the VP and CFO and do golfing and all that crazy shit. But it's just, it's not there anymore. That after a while it just feels like a chore than it does, enjoying the game. And so from there, I just grew out of it. And I took a step back to look at what I was doing. And upon that, I just stopped making videos for a while. And so we're growing up, right? I mean, look at me. I'm 19 years old and I'm already doing other things, trying out school and work and focusing on all the other boring shit in life. And this is going to lead to the first part of the video, which is based on expectations. The reason I want to talk about expectations is based on the fact that all of us are still having this problem where we set a goal that's either impossible, either difficult but achievable, or just so simple that people just give up within the first day and overthink this type of goal, thinking that they're going to achieve a higher reward. Let's say, for instance, somebody wants to make at least 250 grand instead of 150 grand. Do you really think that within 6 months or 8 months, you're just going to work all day and save up all that money and not pay the bills and do anything to get to that goal? It's really unrealistic, in my opinion, but it's the truth. In order to make that amount of money, $250,000, you would have to do extensive hustling. You'd have to do hundreds and thousands of hours of work every day. You'd have to bust your ass dealing with strings of failures and recuperating from them. And at the same time, you really have to deal with lack of sleep, and you have to deal with so many sacrifices. I mean, you're not going to make 250 grand just sitting around doing nothing, obviously. It's common sense. But the way this ties into my YouTube channel is I spent the last days of 2016 in December thinking beyond my ambitions to become one of the best YouTubers as a ToonTown gamer or a YouTube gamer in general, or just the best YouTuber. But the problem was I didn't really look at the big picture of, let's say, the amount of work that goes in, because I never really appreciated the process of editing, having to reach out to their audience, trying to figure out what kind of content you want to create, how to reinvent yourself when things get your lowest. It was way too much. It was very overwhelming for me. And then I just said, fuck it. And from there, I started learning how it works. I started off with what needed to be added to ToonTown, 10 things that need to be added. It's the very first video I made, and it was more of a commentary. It's gotten 100 views right now, if I'm not mistaken, but, you know, from there, it's just, when I made more videos of ToonTown, I kept it simple. I kept it down to 15, 20 minutes, maybe more or less, and I completed the first stage within, let's say, a week, maybe 2 weeks. And that's when the idea hit for me to set it as a priority over me studying entertainment, because that's what I'm doing right now. But you don't really realize the amount of time YouTube users have to put in to grow their channel, to make great content, to also reach out to their audiences and get feedback. Because, I mean, you're always going to get criticism and praise, but you're always going to get your own type of criticism from yourself, in the sense that, let's say, hey, that video was good, or oh, that video was shit. But you don't really learn but you do learn something from it. You learn how to edit. You learn what mistakes you're making. You can't look for praise from people and expect to set the bar this high when you're stuck either here or here or here. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could start here and go up here, but that's a very, very, very rare chance. It's like you have to see where all the chips fall if that happens. But you can start from here and slowly make your way to the top. It doesn't matter how many years or months it takes. That's just how it works with YouTube. But I mean, I never thought about where I wanted to go with Kid Gemini, because I only spent 3 months making videos on ToonTown and all about gameplay and commentary, and never really looking at, is this something, like, let's say for instance, I really thought about it today, and it's just like, where should I take ToonTown? Should I really do something with this? Should I stop and try doing vlogging? I mean, that sort of thinking just really throws you off. It just puts you in this pool of not only overthinking, but getting carried away with your ideas and fantasies and imaginations of winning a lot of money and making a lot of money out of ToonTown. And so, after finishing Chapter 3, which was Daisy Gardens, and Operation Desert Storm, I decided to take a break and do some soul searching. I was into entertainment because, of course, I really want to be a part of either acting, directing, filmmaking, writing, whatever. I mean, I'm also learning how to edit. That's something big, and it's a really big deal. Even if people look at it as it's small, it's a really big deal. And so I never really thought about taking Kid Gemini further ToonTown-wise, but I did think about it on a personally different level, in which I talk about things like self-improvement or personal opinions or anything about movies or acting and so forth. So the point I'm making is you can never set the bar too high when it comes to making YouTube videos. And that's the mistake I made. That's the mistake still a lot of up-and-coming YouTubers still make. They think that they're going to make the big hit after one video, and it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't. It just, you have to do so much over the years. You have to develop not only great content, but a great following, a great niche, a great business plan, and great creativity. And that's something that is important for every YouTuber. You can't set the bar too high, because you can't think that, oh, just an overnight commitment is going to make me a big success. It doesn't work that way. No one has success overnight. But you can't set the bar too low and say, oh, really? This is just, man, forget it. It's not like, I mean, it's not like that all the time. I mean, I've seen people who set the bar really low and they actually put in twice as much commitment. They don't expect anything within the first 3 months, and they grow within, let's say, 6 months, 9 months. I can't think of anybody right now, but it's a good example to let you know that when you let go of expectations, you are able to see what you've done, how appreciative you are of the process, what you've learned from making those videos, what you learned from other people's opinions and your own opinion, and what you can do to keep going with your content, because that's just how it is with making videos. That's how it is with YouTube. You can ask everybody. They had twice as much time tampering around with their equipment and their ideas and their stories and their audiences that they didn't know where to go. So if you're at the lowest point where you don't have that big of a following, let's say 10 subscribers, 50 subscribers, you got to really sit back without overthinking, without having an immediate answer. You got to meditate on it. And this is the question. Do I want to keep going? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Don't say, oh yes, I want to keep going, or no, I don't want to do it anymore. Oh, I want to make more money. Oh, I got to do this. Don't get a quick answer. Just meditate on it. It's simple. And this is going to tie into reflections, which I'm going to talk about right now, about looking back at my channel and all the things that I've learned within the duration of 12 months of this year, and why it's really important to look back at what you've done. Looking back at what I did this year with ToonTown, I never expected to get 500 or 1,000 views and 30 subscribers within the duration that I started and ended making Operation Desert Storm. It's because when I stopped and watched the time fly by quickly, I was more appreciative and grateful of the process that I put in with learning how to edit, learning how to play better, learning about how to render, and everything that goes within making a video, is when I was very reflective and grateful to have those lessons in my life. It's just when, no matter how grueling the process is, let's say for instance, I start off with Windows Movie Maker instead of Vegas. I mean, you have to start small, again, like I said. But Windows Movie Maker was so basic in the sense that I couldn't edit well. It took me a lot of time to render, and it took a lot of time for videos to be put in, and you really couldn't do much. But when I had Vegas, it was easier for me after, let's say, learning about how to add in, how to make color corrections, how to add simple VFX of, let's say, I put a different face instead of my real face, or if I put in, let's say, sound effects, like explosion in the background, or something louder, or editing and rendering. I was really appreciative of that, and I really enjoyed learning how to edit and make those videos because I had a lot of fun with it. I never really think about money when it comes to making YouTube videos, because the more you try to set YouTube as a business idea, as of ways for you to make your own money without having to go to a 9-to-5 job or to apply for part-time jobs, you're just only setting yourself back even further, and you're really disappointing yourself, because people like PewDiePie and Markiplier gamers, for instance, who I really looked up to, they took a lot of time making the videos because people enjoyed them. And it took them years to get to at least 500,000 or 1 million subscribers. And that's when the monetization comes in. So no one's going to monetize your videos or give you money for every video you make if you're at 50 subscribers more or less. It just doesn't work that way. But I really had fun with Kid Gemini. I really do. And I still will have fun with him no matter what, because it's something I want to continue. And to look back on it, it's just, I'm really grateful. Not a lot of channels get 25 videos and 7 subscribers. And yes, it's small, but, you know, sky's the limit. And 7 subscribers isn't a big deal to me. I could care less if I have 1 subscriber or 3 subscribers. I could care less if people like or dislike my videos. I just enjoy making them. There's a lot of gratitude behind it. For instance, before Kid Gemini, I had this other channel, Mr. Playthroughs 101. The link is in the description. It was designed for gaming because I enjoyed escaping into the worlds of Death Run and Counter-Strike Source, or doing zombie survival, or even Gmod. I still play that game sometimes on Steam, and it's really fun to be a part of a sandbox server and do a lot of crazy creative shit. And ToonTown, the original and rewritten, you just have a lot of fun with destroying cog bosses. You have a lot of fun hanging out with friends on the internet. It's a really big deal for you as a kid. And at 13, when I started Counter-Strike, I did a little montage, which didn't go too well. But then I did Death Run videos with a few friends on Steam, and I had a lot of fun from there. And it's a good story. It's a really good story, which I'll explain in another video. But I had a lot of fun. And without repeating myself, I never realized how much work I put into Mr. Playthroughs 101 compared to Kid Gemini, when all it was fun instead of this desperate urgency to make a lot of money. But I digress. I mean, I can go on Steam once in a while and play Killing Floor or Left 4 Dead 2 and still talk to those people or make new friends. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just having fun. I mean, you can make videos for businesses. That's okay, but to have fun making videos is great too, because you're displaying your creativity. That's all that matters. And the importance of reflection is not to ruminate or overthink or go, oh, maybe if I did this, it would have been better. Or, oh man, why did I do that in the first place? It's more of, now that was pretty good. But I might have been a little off with editing. I might have been a little off with gameplay and high frame rate. What could I have done? I could have done this. I could have done a lot of things that I'm doing right now, but I'm grateful for the process. That's how people should look at it. Reflecting isn't just about looking at the past and seeing what mistakes you made and learn from them. It's also to take the time to realize how far you've came within a year, a month, a week, or a day of anything. Reflection is beautiful, man. It's really beautiful. And based on this world that we live in today, where people are always on their cell phones and watching television and listening to tunes, they don't really reflect on it. They're just disconnected from their mind and soul. You have to have all three, the mind, soul, and body, to maintain that level of mindfulness. And that's the importance of reflection. Now lies the final question. Will I still be making videos as Kid Gemini? Yes, I am going to keep making videos of Kid Gemini. I've come this far to really return to the channel and to actually do something new instead of going back to the old gaming process. I really want to expand and reach out to the audiences and try new things. It's all what YouTube is about. It's what life is about, trying new things. I can react to videos. I can review things. I can do try not to laugh challenges. I can do try not to cringe challenges. I can read news. I can tell you everything about what I think and give you my best opinion on it. So with that being said, we went over expectations, letting go of them, and how I made the mistake of trying to get to be as high of a YouTuber as possible, and then reflecting back on what I did this year and further before I started Kid Gemini, and why you should really reflect on what you do. And just now, my yes to returning to making videos on Kid Gemini. I wouldn't have done it without people who watch the videos and enjoy ToonTown, but it's time to move on and it's time to do something new. So with that being said, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and have a good night. End of 2017. Woo!